Welcome to Gen Z Hoops, the Gen Z basketball, coaching, and sports business show. On this podcast, you'll learn from professional players, coaches, and executives from all over the world and see the court in a brand new way. And now, joining you courtside, your Gen Z host, John Hartophilus.
Hey, Bubba, what's going on?
Hey, I appreciate you so much for, allowing me to come across the platform here. And I really look forward to get into this.
This is going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm really looking forward to this one, especially with all the cool things you do, not just in sports, but in your community, right? And in so many different walks of life. You really do it. You do a lot and you do it all, and you do it a lot for people that need it, right? For people that really need your help. We're going to talk about all that. So people that are listening that don't know what you do might be like, huh? How does Bubba do that? How does he help all these different people? We're about to get into it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So starting us off, though, I'm curious about maybe what your background was as a young kid. Right? Everyone must talk to you about your charity game now and all this cool stuff you're doing right now. But I want to know about the start of it all. What did those early days look like for you in either whether it's getting into sports or getting into self-defense or being a bodyguard? Like, how'd that all come about for you?
Growing up, I grew up in a Catholic upbringing. And then I'd say maybe, 10, 11 years old, I was started into the martial arts training. So very young with that, and have gone on now to have 15 years in advanced martial arts, have trained, instructed, things of that nature in numerous arts. I was a 3-time national champion in sparring, weaponry, and forms. Have a 10-year career of security, bodyguard work, close protection, and started that at very young as well, at age 17, really where I had, discovered it was my passion, purpose, and true divine calling in life. And, that's very important that we discover our why. We have a gift in this reel. We have skills in this reel, but not only are they for us to create a difference in others' lives. And that's what I most importantly love about the work that I do, more so than keeping people safe and protecting property, is that, I can make a difference. I can use my power, my platform, and my voice and influence for good. People can use those things to have ego and to have negative pride, or they could do it to make a difference. And that's what I choose to do. I choose it to do, great for myself, and not just myself, but most importantly for others, be of service to others.
I knew from the first time I saw your page and saw what you were about, though, this conversation wasn't going to be all about self-defense and stuff or about being a bodyguard. It was about to get meaningful. I knew that from the moment we stepped on. I knew we were getting on the show. So tell us a little about some of those avenues that you use then to fulfill that, to really have that true purpose lived out.
Absolutely. So, at 17, I also just started, volunteering my time, being in the community, coaching, mentoring, doing things right out of high school, or even when I was in, my late years of high school, just being involved and being committed and being consistent in those actions, because anybody can show up a few days and do something, but when you're that constant for year in and year out, and you build a relationship with people, and you know how to network and treat people right, and they won't teach you this at Harvard or any fancy university, but life is all about people, and it truly matters how you treat them. And with people skills, you could sell a service, you could sell a product, and that's just something I prided myself in just being a good person, and just making the most of my time here on this earth. We're on borrowed time. At the end of the day, we're all just walking each other home. Have gone on from those small acts of kindness to all the way now to having my own celebrity basketball game that's bringing awareness to mental health awareness and bullying prevention, donating tens of thousands of personal protection equipment, during COVID-19 and the pandemic that we are in, and, just helping people in India, the less fortunate, people all across the world, whether it's with food or first responders, assisting them, and just being that person that is a leader. No matter what people say, there's going to be haters, naysayers, people that want to see normality in your goals, ambitions, and aspirations. But at the end of the day, whatever your dream is, whatever God is compelling your life, a life for you to live, hold on to that, protect it, and never let it go, and bring that to fruition. Where the pain is deep, go deeper in prayer.
Oh, wow. Okay. You ended it off pretty strong right there. When the pain goes deeper, go deeper with prayer. One thing that I don't know if you saw Cobra. Obviously the self-defense, maybe you were into Karate Kid and Cobra Kai, which, this question just came up right off the dome when you said that, because one of my favorite quotes from that movie is Mr. Miyagi said, if you're looking for revenge, start first by digging 2 graves. So instead of fighting back with hatred, fight back with some kindness, right? Because when you fight back with hatred, two people lose. Can you break down that quote you just finished off with, and maybe why that approach to fighting so much hatred with kindness is such a big thing for you?
It's colossal because a lot of people think the best fighter is the biggest, fastest, strongest. The best fighter is one that knows how to avoid a fight. Take that from somebody who's protected some of the most high risk and high profile people, who's traveled all about the world, the U.S. and abroad, and has been around, names like the Cardones, the Alis, billionaires, government initiatives, the 9/11 Memorial Commemoration, Super Bowl 54. If I can have a honorable, respectful look on things, a disciplined look and serious look on things, then we all need to have that approach. That if a bodyguard can choose flight over fight, someone that is sworn to protect somebody, to do their duty, to go above and beyond, to ensure safety, peace of mind, to keep them out of trouble, their clients, then we can do it as well. Whether it's in the schoolyard or in a workplace or a sports team, wherever it is you're enduring the bullying or the violence, and just treat people how you want to be treated. Just be a good person and think before you react. It's the easiest thing is to get in trouble in life, but the hardest thing to do is to get out of trouble.
Wow. Okay. So this is great stuff right here. And if you can't keep up, take some notes, press rewind. This is some good stuff right here. I'm loving where this conversation is going. But for some listeners maybe that are playing catch up and don't fully understand what you do, can you explain what it means to be a celebrity bodyguard, and maybe at the most basic level what your main job is? Because you do a lot of other stuff really well.
Yes.
But your main job is the main thing.
Yes. So right now I am currently a celebrity bodyguard, have been honored numerous awards and had the honor of protecting all the way up to the greatest legacy that has ever lived, Muhammad Ali's legacy, with his wife, Dr. Khalila Camacho Ali, his former wife, and also his children, Muhammad Ali Jr. I've had the honor of being at the 5th year memorial, the passing of the late great, God rest his soul, Muhammad Ali, and just so many honors I've had with that family, just really boxing royalty. It's really a bodyguard is a great bodyguard is somebody that, has a critical soft skill. And that may catch a lot of people by surprise, because at the end of the day, I look at it like this. The lion is king of the jungle, not because it's the biggest, strongest, fastest, but the lion is king because it has the right attitude. It has the determination. If it sees a pile of grass, it goes for it'll go attack a big adult elephant. You have to have those things. You have to have that mindset. And, you have to be a complete protector, not just protecting somebody in that immediate moment, protect their peace of mind, keep them in spiritually protected, keep them lifted in prayer, keep them out of trouble, keep their day more effective, more efficient, just everything, keeping their circle tighter, knowing who's around them, knowing the environments they're going into, covering every ingress and egress for that person. So there's a huge amount of responsibility, a huge amount of expectation with bodyguards. When we set out for missions, we try everything in our power to have them go green. We don't want to settle for something going south or something going bad. Whatever we have to do to deliver our client to safety, we have to do.
Of course, and that's definitely the top priority, and making sure that stuff goes smoothly. But I'm sure, right, you were going through outside of safety, there's so many other things about making sure it's smooth and making sure things go the way as planned. I'm sure. It sounds super complicated, and especially in the world we live in today. Things are just, everything's like with social media and stuff, things just gotten more and more complicated. And I'm sure your job has gotten slightly more difficult as that's happened. How have you or the industry maybe adjusted to that to make sure that things are still running smoothly no matter what?
Yes. It's a great question. So if your question, let me get this right, you're asking basically what has social media presented threats or challenges? And if so, what are they? Is that right?
Yeah, because I'm sure it's not just with
yes.
this. I make sure that even comes with bullying, right? It's just evolved in so
many
ways.
Yes. Yep. And with the bullying, like I said, it can happen cyber, physical, relationship bullying, emotional, verbal, so many ways somebody could be bullied. You could be bullied in the military, in a law enforcement job. You could be experience police brutality. You could experience a security guard that's on a power trip. You could experience schoolyard bullying, online bullying. There's so many things where you could be bullied in the workplace, anywhere, any place, anytime. And what bullying really is abuse. Clean cut and dry. Bullying is abusive behavior. Bullying, it has no place in our world, in our culture, in our backgrounds. And we have to eradicate this behavior. We have to address the victims, and we have to address the bullies with empathy and sympathy and love and care, and show them a better way. Show them that there's so much better that they could do. A lot of people think, taking your life is a terrible thing, but I'll tell you what is a terrible thing: to lead somebody to want to take their own life. It's the actions leading up to suicide that are often very unnoticed, but as soon soon as you mention suicide, you have everybody's attention. You have the media's attention. You have family's attention, friends' attention. You have everybody's attention in that moment. But we can't let things get to that, because one life is one too many. And we have to, again, we're all walking each other home at the end of the day. If we all want to get into heaven, it's either you want to do right or you want to do wrong in life. It's clean cut and dry. There's no in between. With your wrongs, there's setbacks and consequences, and with your rights comes successes in life. So I'll also talk about some threat mitigation that has presented itself with being online, with social media getting so big. So say, for example, you have a client, say it's Justin Bieber. He has hundreds of millions of followers throughout his platforms. And, people know he's going to be in a certain location. They know the place, the date, the time. You have potentially so many threats that could be accumulating, life threats. It could be stalkers. It could be fans that want to, are just overly aggressive to want to meet him. It could be so many things, it's like an open roadmap for where everything he's doing in his life or whatever the client may be. And it's presenting a lot of challenges, but you have to constantly be evolving in your training. You have to have the obsessiveness to learn and want to listen, continue to educate yourself. We never truly master anything in life. I've been, respectfully decorated. I've had a lot of high honors in this career, but I'm certainly not a master in martial arts or with, bodyguarding. You have to have that humbleness to you, that humble spirit that you have to learn more. Every day you have to have that desire, discipline, and dedication in your craft and what you do. And because it's not just your life that's relying on it, it's others as well. So it's presented a lot of challenges. So you have to keep being on, dotting your I's, crossing your T's, covering every egress and ingress of the client.
Fascinating stuff to think about, because we as fans or as common people don't really think about these things, but that's something that, right, I'm sure there's stuff that keeps you up at night in terms of how do we do this to the best of our ability. Is definitely something that's very, very important to you and to the community. But we maybe saw some of the negatives that can come out of social media, or some things, right, how we can prevent, or cyberbullying and some negative things. But in terms of positivity, like something like your charity basketball tournament, obviously the show being about basketball, we got to touch on that. And that's something that I'm sure you blast on social media because it's positivity and there's some good messages come out of that. Can you please give us a little bit of rundown on maybe what you do, what the tournament's about, and how that maybe is helpful to the community?
Absolutely. The tournament did a lot for the community. We did it in Snow Hill, Maryland. It was able to bring everybody together, most importantly, over any celebrity basketball game or what it was bringing awareness to. Most importantly, it brought people together of all walks, of all kinds, of all faiths, of all backgrounds. We had people come to that event from Europe and California and Florida, and just a beautiful thing, so much positive vibes and energy. And, we had, boxing royalty, Dr. Ali there. We had Muhammad Ali Jr. We had Terrell Owens, NFL Hall of Famer, the real famous Harlem Globetrotters, the real famous Harlem Wizards, Drummer Boy Fresh, who's a Grammy award-winning producer, just so many marvelous names and people that have not only done great with their accolades and success, but these people have been global goodwill ambassadors. They have been philanthropists, humanitarians. Dr. Ali, for example, she traveled over 100 countries in her life and has helped communities all across the world. That's just so honorable. And she's Lifetime Achievement Awards from Hollywood Awards and Oscars, and just somebody like that to come into a small town, that there's not an adjective powerful enough to describe that experience. And you can't measure that. That could never be measured. The impact on those children that experiences that, and the families that experiences that, and the people, like, for example, Muhammad Ali's wife and the mother of his 4 children, Dr. Ali, talking about her experiences with bullying growing up. It shows people that she went through that, and she could still go on to be part of the greatest legacy that ever lived. If you just don't quit, just don't give up. During your lows, you stay hopeful, and during your highs, you stay humble in life. And as long as you don't lose hope, it doesn't matter what your situation is. If you don't lose your faith and your hope, and you don't stop praying, you will prevail. You will persevere past those challenges. We brought awareness to bullying prevention, mental health. We had celebrities speaking out on things, just using their voice, their positivity, their platforms, their influence, because if an average person is just saying something, maybe it'll get listened to. But when you have the Ali family speaking out on bullying, it's going to be respected. It's going to resonate. It's what we need more of in this world. We need more of our celebrities doing good. We need more business owners, leaders, activists. We need more leaders in this world. The celebrity basketball game, it was also a time, a safe haven. Maybe a kid doesn't have a place where you can go and be safe and be around these people, and just they gain so much. They gain that they have values, they have skills, they got to to hear about etiquette and manners and respect and so many things that can pay so much dividend for their life. Really just a life-changing, life-saving experience. And we will continue to do this. We'll make it an annual event, and we are also exploring maybe taking it across the nation. It's going to be something very special, and just so honored for all the love and support that I have received with it. In our first year, to have so many stars and so many people backing me, it's I can't express the gratitude and how much thanks I have. I mean, there's no words I could even place to that. So I'm just so honored.
I love that. That is an incredible thing about this event that you run, and the positivity that it brings to people that are participating in it, and the people that benefit from the positivity of what you're doing is definitely incredible. But thinking about it, and I love that because it's basketball related, and I love that. But you mentioned a lot of the high profile individuals that either were in the event, or that you've just been around in the past. And when you say successful people, I'm curious what your definition of success is, because a lot of people can just look at, okay, well, the net worth of the people that you're working with, or the status, or the number of followers of the people that you work with. But I'm sure, you look past that, and you see much more in these people, or in the people that you work with, that maybe don't even maybe get named because of the status or the dollar sign. So what are your thoughts on that in terms of your definition of success and how you value that?
Yes. And before I get into that, I'll say this, that I've been around some of the greatest legacies and greatest people as far as net worth, things of that nature. But please always, all the listeners, may they always understand that God is always the greater. God is the greatest. And he's the reason why these people have been great. God is everything. He's the reason why we wake up every day. He's the reason for all the success, all the giving back, all the charitable work we're allowed to do. So he must have all the glory. He belongs with it. Really my definition of success, or what I view somebody as successful is, it's not about what they drive, where they live, things of that nature. It's not about their net worth. It's about what, when they have that success in life, who have they inspired, empowered, educated, motivated, and things of that nature? What have they given back? They live in a life that is honorable and that God would be proud of, and making a difference with our youth, or helping to end hunger, to help end bullying, or to speak out on social injustices, or what are they doing to empower others and help this world? Because, success, it's rent on this earth, and it's due every day. When you have that success, you have rent every day that's due, and that's giving back, and that's planting the seeds, and that's, just being there for people, just giving your time, or giving a prayer, or whatever it is that you can offer. You don't have to be a millionaire to be a humanitarian. You can give your time, you can give your wisdom, you can give a prayer. So let's understand that, most importantly. And at the end of the day, when God calls us home, he's not going to care what we drove, or how big the house was, or if we were on ran a Fortune 500 company. He's going to ask us, how did you make my world a better place, and what legacy did you leave behind that can help others? So
on the money, right? Thinking about how you don't have to be a millionaire to be a humanitarian, right? Anyone can do that, just with the belief in what they put into the world. What are some of your next things? I mean, I don't want you to give too much away, but what are some of your next steps to further your efforts to be a humanitarian?
Just, continuing with the celebrity basketball game, just taking this to new heights, growing the impact on that. Again, it's going to be annually. If we could do it throughout, certain quarters, or maybe things of that nature, we'll explore that. Maybe a few a year. We're exploring that, and just, continuing to, do toy drives, and do for Thanksgiving, going out to feed the homeless, and just really just be there for people that need it, that may not have a family, may not have somebody to lean on. They may have, nothing. Maybe it's the only thing they have is to rely on is God, and just pray for these people, and just continue to do the work that God is calling me to do, and continue in my bodyguard career, making a difference, and not just keeping people safe, but making a difference, using my platform and voice, and the success that God gives me to help others.
I love that. And this entire story is really uplifting to me. I love podcasts that a lot of these shows that I do have this similar effect, but they make me leave them just feeling a little bit better about the world than I did when I first sat in this chair. It's a good feeling, and you definitely did that. So I hope our listeners, when they stop listening to this show, have a similar feeling to themselves. They're feeling really good about their outlook on the world, and the fact that humanity is in a good place with humanitarians like you around to help put us in the right place. So I really appreciate you, Bubba, for coming on the show and sharing this with us. I definitely want to check out more about your tournament, especially whether it's this year, whether you do more of them, whatever it is. I definitely want to check that out more, because that sounds like a lot of fun, and hopefully I can either go to one soon, or we can make something like that work, so I can get you your socks person at that event. That would be a lot of fun.
We would love to have you. Again, I thank you so much for bringing me across this platform and your podcast. Keep up, all the great work that you're doing. And just lastly, my encouragement to all the viewers and listeners, keep God first, work tremendously hard, make a colossal amount of sacrifices, and surround yourself with not just good people, but great people. And every day wake up with a mindset that every day is the best day of your life. No matter if you woke up with pain, if you woke up with illness, if you woke up with financial burdens, every day is the best day of your life. And go to sleep grateful and you'll wake up happy. That's my last words of encouragement. And again, I just thank you so much. And God bless you always, and stay safe and stay healthy.
Thanks for listening to Gen Z Hoops. Make sure to follow, like, and subscribe on Instagram, LinkedIn, and all major social media platforms at Gen Z Hoops. You can tune in and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and every other podcast platform on the planet. Get ready for the next episode.